Hello indie game fan, more indie game demos to play begins with Mars First Logistics, a physics sandbox builder set on Mars, where you're free hand to design, build and create a bunch of rovers to explore the surface of the red planet. If you love games like Besiege, I'm sure that this will be of interest, but of course the main thing that stands out is the visual style and does look to have a powerful building tool as well, so I hope that it will get Steam Workshop support since I cannot wait to see the amazing designs that players come up with. I do like the visuals of Howl, using the self-styled living ink aesthetic, looking as if it is coming off the pages of an old book where a curse has been spreading through the land, where anyone that hears it turns into a feral beast, so it is up to our deaf protagonist to save the day. Most curiously, you are technically planning the actions of your character up to 6 moves ahead, which looks satisfying if you manage to predict how enemies would react, looking quite unique as well. The developer of Luckily, My Arm is a Shotgun did reach out, but I quite like the low fidelity look of the game, where you play as this little yellow blob creature who just so happens to have a shotgun as an arm, coming in really handy when they're stranded on a cursed island full of monsters. You're attempting to repair your ship, having to explore this mini open world to get parts, but it's supposed to be a shorter experience that releases very soon, so check out the demo while you can. I don't think that Terraria or Starbound are putting out any new updates anytime soon, so it's always nice to see someone else try their hand in this space. As usual, we have a whole bunch of Vampire Survivors clones during this Steam Next festival, where I do think that sentiment is beginning to turn on this subgenre, where developers do really need to do something special to stand out, and while not exactly the most impressive one of these, REMEDIUM Sentinels is of interest since I just talked about REMEDIUM in my video on upcoming shoot 'em ups. For developers making top-down shooters or roguelites, it seems that they're just doubling up and releasing one of these just in case it takes off. See Soulstone Survivors and Rogue Soulstone as an example, so I cannot fault them for trying, where this one looks okay. As I've said in the past, who doesn't love dinosaurs? Which is why DinoBlits got my attention, a strategy colony sim title where you play as a dino chief, having to lead your tribe in the exploration and settlement of new lands. It looks so adorable, but don't let the looks fool you, when there are enemies to fight and choices to make, all while you're trying to escape extinction, looking pretty good. I thought that the art style of this game looked a little too familiar, but it turns out that Super Raft Boat Together is the sequel to Super Raft Boat, adding in multiplayer co-op to an excellent game, where the original is free on Steam, so you might want to give that a go as well. This has you building a raft with friends, while having to defend it from enemies on all sides who want to sink your raft, where the roguelite progression provides plenty of variety, and I can only imagine how much more fun it will be in multiplayer. An all-action first-person shooter that looks kind of awesome is Meat Grinder, one where the levels are set on top of moving trucks, trains and planes, where you're leaping from one vehicle to the next while still having to shoot and even kick your enemies. It sure has a little bit of a Mad Max feel to it, conveying that same sense of chaos, and while not the most visually impressive, has a boomer shooter charm to it. First things first, how good does this game look? I am of course biased since I do love my pixel art, where the precision platformer just looks fantastic, with vibrant colours, clear outlines and even shading and shadows. It's a precision platformer, so that means plenty of hazards, traps and projectiles to avoid, having the classic collectathon style gameplay as well, so if you're in the mood for one of these, do check out the demo. More than a couple of you did mention this title in the comments, so of course I have to give it a mention, where it's a curious mix of genres, having exploration primarily be in the form of side-scrolling platforming, but then switches to 1v1 turn-based combat, where the abstract character and enemy designs, as well as how colours are used, really does impart a sense of style to World Blurs, with an abstract skill tree being of note as well, certainly being one of interest. We can watch this for the current best indie RPGs.